Hey folks, and welcome to Solar Cabin Channel. You know, it has been so hot here at the cabin this year that I every year for the last 5 years now, I put up one of these small 8-foot Intex swimming pools. But this is the first year where I have really appreciated having this thing, because it has helped when it gets really hot. I come out here and soak and get cooled off, but also I do my exercises in it. Now this is just an 8-foot Intex pool, and what I wanted to impress on you is that these pools will work off-grid, and they work great for staying cool or exercising, or just for a lot of fun with your family, your friends, and your kids. Now this does either come with a pump or without a pump. You don't really need a pump for these small pools. If you will drain the water out, and it has a drain on that side over there on the low side, and you just unscrew the drain and you drain out about maybe a quarter of the water. But before you do that, get in and stir up the bottom, which is what I'm doing in here right now. Get in and stir up the bottom. That stirs up any of the crud and crap that has fallen into the pool and sunk to the bottom. Then open your valve, drain out about a quarter of the water, close it back up and refill it with fresh water, and you don't really need a pump. However, the pump's kind of nice, and this is the pump that comes with it. And what I wanted to show you is that this pump right now, it's running. It's very quiet. You probably can't even hear it. But it is running off of just a 100-watt solar panel and a 100-amp-hour battery. And I'm going to run it for about an hour. And in an hour's time, it will circulate all of the water in this small pool about 3 times in an hour. Completely recirculate all of the water. And it's pulling the water in over here from this hose. It's pulling in the dirty water, and it's putting the clean water back into the pool through this hose right here. And it actually has very good pressure for a small pump. And this same pump is the same pump that they use on the larger sizes, the 10-foot sizes. It'll even handle a 12-foot or a 15-foot swimming pool. So if you want to get one of the bigger swimming pools, you can. Now I get this size here because most of the time it's just me and I'm just soaking in the swimming pool during the daytime when it's really hot. But I also do have this here for, like my cousins just come up last weekend. They had a couple of young kids. I let them get in the pool, and just while the adults were busy talking, the kids were playing in the swimming pool. If you have your own kids or your grandkids or something like that, these small pools, these 8-foot pools are great. But the other thing that they're really great for is for adults, if you need to be able to do some exercise, like I've got bad shoulders and bad knees, so I get in here and do my water aerobics in this pool. And you can also invite your friends over for a barbecue, and this pool is like a big hot tub. It's that big and it's that nice. You can just get all your friends in. If you like to sit around and drink beer with your friends, you can all sit around and just shoot the bull, and you sit in the swimming pool. So, you know, it's pretty nice. If you want one of the bigger ones, though, they do make them bigger. The prices on these have went up a bit. They're over $100 now. I used to get a swimming pool without the pump for about $50, about $49 on Amazon every year. They would come up about that price, and I would usually get a new one about every 2 or 3 years. I would usually get a new pool because the old ones would kind of get cruddy and crappy, and I just didn't want to use them again. But I'm going to try and keep these in good shape now because they're over $100, and in some cases $150 for a small pool like this, so they're kind of expensive. Now, the other things you want to get when you get one of these pools, get you a skimmer net like this, and these are really handy for keeping the pool cleaned up. You just scoop the stuff out and flip it over the edge. And you also, probably a good idea to get a cover, which you can see down there. You don't have to have a cover, but if you have a lot of trees around or stuff that's blowing in from the wind, a cover is really nice to keep the stuff from getting into the pool. Of course, I've got my floaty tubes for floating around in here. The other thing you want to get is your chlorine dispenser, which is just one of these. Floats around, has a little dial. You can open it up however much you want to use. You don't need very much chlorine in a pool like this. In fact, this bottle of tablets that I've been using, I've had for like 4 years now. This is the bottle of tablets, chlorine tablets, 1-inch chlorine tablets. I put in 1 tablet in the dispenser, and that'll last over a week, usually sometimes close to 2 weeks. So I've had this same bottle here for 4 years. That's all the chlorine I'm using. Just put that in there, and then you don't really need to test it or anything like that. If it smells or feels too much like there's too much chlorine, close down the tab. Don't put in as many tabs. You don't need that much chlorine in it. You shouldn't be able to smell the chlorine. If you want to know if the water is fresh, all you need to do is just grab a handful of water. As long as it doesn't feel slimy, the water is good. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, and once in a while, either run the pump or drain it out, and I would say maybe once every 3 weeks or once a month, drain it down about a quarter after you stir up the bottom, refresh the water, or use the pump, run the pump for at least an hour once a month, and that's what I'm doing right now. I just decided while I was in here, I'd make this little video in case anybody else is interested in these little Intex swimming pools and how you can use them off-grid. All right, folks, hope you have a great day, and try to stay out of the heat and stay hydrated because it's been really hot here.